I'm actually
The thing
that
is,
type
when
of
I
person
moved
who
here
can
to
be
study,
just in one
it became kind of
place.
boring
I was
because Slovenia is like
first
such a small country.
grandchildren, very
When you think
spoiled.
about it and
When
it
we
didn't
landed in
happen to
Atlanta,
you,
that
you're
was
like,
first time.
you have to
All the
talk.
thoughts
What I
went
like
away.
in
First time I
Azerbaijan
saw
is
that, like,
that you can
disappear.
always see
And
something
they don't
changing.
agree
Yeah, they
with
were
my
really,
kind
really,
of
really,
living. They
really
had
poor
problems.
before they came back to.
So because this is my life, this is not their life.
When you ask two people to tell you something interesting about them, they will tell you, I don't have anything special, I don't have anything to say, I'm not a really interesting person. We often think that only known people or celebrities have a life that is worth telling. But this is not true. We all live things. That's what I want to know. My name is Lison, I come from France, and I want to discover the stories behind people, and I'm sure you have a lot to say. When she was in primary school, Alessia started to be bullied. People laughed at her, criticized her, insulted her, and even aggressed her physically. All of those violences last during years and years and destroyed her self-confidence. In this episode, she will even talk about suicide. Now, Alessia is feeling way better. She's living here in Slovenia and has a lot of little challenges in her daily life to prove her that she can do anything. If you are in this kind of situation, it's really important to break what we call the silence cycle. Because little by little, the stalkers cut your link with everybody until you become alone and vulnerable. They will continue until someone helps you, but if nobody knows, it's really hard to stop it. So try to talk with a person that you trust. It can be your sister, your brother, your parents, a teacher, online friends, a therapist, an association, whoever, but it's important to say what is happening. Everybody deserves respect, and you too.
The first year of middle school was fine because I was friend with everyone. I mean, friend, you know. But then the second year, boys started to touch the girls, and I was one of those girls. But it wasn't fine, you know. So I started to kick them and tell them to stop. But at first they didn't. Then they did. And I was okay with it because you don't like to be touched. And then one day I was having PE, physical education, and someone pushed me in the boys' locker room and locked me in. And basically they start to touch me and pushing me everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I was afraid that something bad could happen. So I was like paralyzed, couldn't move. But after a while they stopped. Maybe it was boring, I have no idea. And they pushed me outside. And when I went back to the girls' locker room, they looked at me like they knew that something happened, but they didn't care, and they didn't ask me how was I, if everything was fine. And I never said about this to anyone because I was kind of ashamed of what happened, even though I knew it wasn't my fault.
Why you were ashamed?
Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, maybe I thought it was because of me, because I didn't want to be touched, and it was like a sort of like my punishment, because the other's girl wanted to be touched and all, and I didn't. So, but then I realized when I grew up that it wasn't actually my fault, and I was behaving good. I mean, I didn't want to be like the other girls, and it was fine. So yeah, but then in high school it continued, and I've been bullied
With the
for
same
5
people?
years. No, for 5 years, and they called me with every possible name ever, like lesbian because I was only with girls, because I didn't talk with guys, ugly because I'm not really nice, nice looking, four eyes because I wear glasses, smurf because I'm really short. They offended my body because I don't have the perfect butt, or I don't have boobs. So they were like talking against my back. That's how we say it.
Behind your back.
Yeah, behind my back, and like laughing all the time, considering me a weirdo and stuff like that. Sometimes they even threw food at me. It happened once. And when I was with the scouts, because I used to be a scout, one of my best friends, she was my best friend, basically started to laugh with the group because of something, and I didn't know what was happening. And then I checked my back, and she put like a piece of paper on my back, like you stink and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't funny at all, and I got pissed, and I stopped talking to her. And it happened with other friends that I consider true friend, but they weren't. Like, for example, once I had I was friend with a girl, and she was like the best person I've ever met, but she was actually a real bitch. And at some point I got pissed and broke the relationship with her. And she was like, yeah, I wish you to die and stuff like that. I hope you will hand in a wheelchair. And that got really on my nerves because my cousin is on a wheelchair. So I was like, why the fuck are you telling me this? You know that my cousin is in this situation. So, but then karma hit her, because when you wish that to someone, it will turn against you. And her father died. And I mean, I hated her at some point, but that wasn't fair, because her father wasn't the reason. So yeah, I felt bad, but
And it was all the time the same person, the same people doing this in high school?
no, this girl was in middle school, and in high school we're like the cool kids, because in my class I was like alone with one friend, and she was a fake friend, of course. And the other ones were like divided into groups. So there were like the cool kids, the weirdos, and I was an outcast. I wasn't even a weirdo. I mean, I was actually alone. But yeah.
And what kind of consequences all of this had on you?
It brought to me depression. And yeah, it started at 12 with that accident. And it continued and just got worse, also because of my relationship with my family. It's kind of toxic. So yeah, it just got worse, and at some point I just wanted to die, and I tried to kill myself twice, choking myself, but it didn't work. And honestly, I'm glad it didn't, because now I feel better. So it took a lot of time to feel better, but I'm glad.
And How did you get out of this situation? Because now you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get out?
Alone, on my own. I tried to keep thinking about positive stuff, and at first it didn't work, of course. But I didn't want to give up because I was too stressed. I didn't want to feel it anymore, and so I tried to keep my mind busy somehow, doing stuff I liked, being surrounded by positive people, which I wasn't actually surrounded because the people around me in my hometown are pretty toxic. So I had internet best friends, and even though they weren't actually really close to me, they were around me somehow. So they helped me, and now, since I'm here in this EBS, I feel really good. I'm positive and I'm happy. So yeah.
So you think to get out of your country at some point it helped you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't plan to go back, honestly, because it's just a bad place for me to live. So I feel good here, so it's fine.
And at this moment, did you talk to someone? Because you said you were alone. Did you talk with your online friend about the problem, about all of this?
Yeah, with my friends, yeah. But I didn't with my parents or my sister. I mean, with my sister, I told her some stuff, but not all, But yeah, with my online friends, they knew everything, even about the middle school accident, so yeah.
So you needed to have someone to talk.
Yeah.
And why you didn't talk to your family, to your parents or to your teachers?
My teachers, because honestly, teachers don't listen to you and they don't try to help you. I mean, at least in my case. And with my parents, well, I don't have a good relationship with my dad. And I sort of do with my mom, but I mean, it's not so easy to talk to them. And actually, sometimes they don't even listen to me. It's like I don't exist, so I prefer to talk with someone that actually cares about me.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, do you have some advices for people who are in the same situation than you were to get out of this?
To be surrounded by positive people. And if you're alone, to try to survive somehow and to do stuff you like, to not think about the dark stuff, even though it's difficult to not to. And just to have good vibes somehow and to try to be happy as much as you can.
But how can you be happy when every day you go to school and you have this every day? To stay positive, it's almost impossible, no?
Yeah, but you have to not make it touch you somehow.
How can you protect yourself from this?
Yeah, I know, but you have to. You have to try somehow. Because if not, it will just push you down and you won't be able to get up.
And now that you're not in this situation anymore, because I imagine that when you're in this situation about the self-confidence and the idea of that you have of yourself, it's really down.
Yeah.
It's really low.
Yeah, it is.
How can you I don't know, but how can you build this after your self-confidence?
At first I hated myself, completely. I was against me, against my body, even against my voice. But it happened really lately, like last year maybe. And I was like, why the fuck am I like this? I mean, why am I so negative about myself, about my body? I am who I am, and I should be proud. So yeah, I started to think, well, I don't like my nose, but it's different. So it's unique, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, my legs, but they're good like this. I don't care.
Mm.
I have to like them. And if I do, people will like me too.
And did you have a specific event, a specific things that you've seen at this moment that make you realize it? Or the negativity that you have about yourself at this moment when you say one day, I realized that I was really negative about myself?
Mm-hmm.
How it happened? Did you have a specific moment, an event that...
One of my online best friends helped me because she's really confident in herself. And she was like, I know it's difficult, but you have to be confident and love yourself. And she basically told me this every single day. And at the end, I started to believe it. And I don't know, I don't even know how it worked, but it did. And now I feel more confident. I mean, I'm not totally confident in myself still, but it's working, so it's good.
Mm.
Because now I feel better in my body and with myself. And I feel better with the other people too, so it's good.
What are the little things you do daily or weekly that makes you feel better?
Every morning when I wake up, I smile at myself in the mirror. I don't know why, but it works. Like, it makes me feel happier, and it makes my day better somehow, because you're like, yeah, it's starting, it's a new day, and you have to be positive. So, yeah.
Mm.
And I try to, when I sing, to look at myself in the mirror and dance and move my body and see how it works and how it looks. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of narcissistic somehow, but honestly I feel it. It's like appealing. It's like you are knowing yourself and you're starting to accept yourself.
And about the way you dressed or everything, or the sport or whatever, did you try new things too?
When I was in high school, I was like hiding my body because no one liked it, so I didn't like it too. But now, honestly, I even wear dresses, which was really weird for me. I don't like skirts, so I don't wear them, but I wear crop tops and I show my body more because I'm more confident somehow. So yeah, honestly, I just wear what I like.
Yeah, because you actually, about the singing part,
Mm-hmm.
you post it on Instagram,
Yeah,
right? Does it help you?
yeah, it did.
When did you start your Instagram?
My Instagram in 2012, maybe, I don't know. It's actually pretty old. But the covers around 2-3 years ago, maybe. Because I was feeling really down and music helped me. So I was like, why not trying? I want to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still not working, but yeah, I like it somehow. So yeah.
Mm.
And people actually comment my videos, which increase my self-confidence. So
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about all the people that told you all of this during your studies when you were like in high school and all of this?
Mhm.
Was it true or was it not true?
It wasn't true. I mean, I still don't like my face, but honestly, they're not beautiful too. So why should they judge me if, I mean, they should look at themselves first. And honestly, I think that now I'm having a better life because I have the opportunity to do what I like, to be surrounded by people I like, and to travel, which is one of my favorite things. And looking at them, honestly, they're not doing anything. So I know it's bad, but I feel better because I'm having something good and they don't. So I shouldn't be like this, I know, but I don't care. So
So most of the time it's criticizing just because of a difference of preference of activities that you do, of things that you like, of clothes. So it's based on nothing, basically. This kind of criticize.
Yeah.
It's not really justified. It's just criticizing for criticizing.
yeah,
right?
because they were bored. I don't know.
Okay. Do you want to add something? About this therapy, maybe?
Therapy?
Therapy, yeah.
I
That
never
maybe
did therapy.
Do you think it can help people to do it when you're, for example, when you don't have any friend, you don't have good relationship with your family, and you don't have online friend? At some point, as you said, you need to talk with someone.
Yeah.
Because you need to put everything out. You can't keep it.
Yeah, and in this case, you have to talk with someone, a therapist maybe, yeah. And there should be like free therapists. I mean, in Italy, they are, so I think in other countries too.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. If you want to participate, to talk about a specific topic or something that happened to you, you can send me a private message on Center Mladi Koper Facebook page. I will be really happy to meet you. See you soon for a new story.